Hello, replay viewers, and anyone else who's joining me. I was feeling the need for some healing dance practice, dance and yoga, belly dance and yoga today. So, get started here. Hi, there we are. Sama Morningstar here, and I'm getting ready for, hello Anton, for some belly dance and yoga for a brilliant back. So I'm a holistic health practitioner and yoga practitioner that I've been doing yoga and dance for overall health and wellness since as long as I can remember. So today I want to just share with you, hi Simone. Hi, Simone. Welcome. My name is Sama Morningstar, and today I want to just have a little dance and yoga practice for healing back pain. I specialize in helping my clients to heal low back pain. So I just want to make sure you can hear me okay. If you're here, please pop a few hearts on there, or tell me that if you can hear me okay over the music. I'd love to know. And I'll just go ahead and get started. And let me know if you can't hear me or you'd like to hear me more. So I'm just going to start with feeling my feet on the ground. If you can stand up and find a space to just begin swaying on the ground, swaying from one foot to the other, feeling the weight of your feet. I'm just going to take off my shoes. And just feeling your feet connecting to the earth. Connecting to the floor if you're standing inside. And to the earth underneath the floor. Letting your roots sink down into the earth. So feeling that earth underneath your feet. Welcome. If you're joining me, my name is Sama Morningstar. And we're going to do some belly dance and yoga for a brilliant back. So we're healing any back pain with this movement meditation. So starting with our feet on the ground, standing, feet hip distance apart, and beginning to just sway back and forth, really feeling with your knees soft and bent, feeling your feet connecting to the floor, connecting to the earth. And we'll just start taking some deep breaths. With each breath, feeling the earth energy rising up through your feet, your legs, your hips. You can even make these movements with your hands to just feel that energy start to move as you breathe. So inhaling, scooping that earth energy up through your feet, your hips, your belly, up to your chest, your neck, and out through the crown of your head, letting it shower down upon you. And you can even bend your knees and scoop down with your hands, making a basket like this with your hands, and scooping up. This is a little bit of qigong to just get us warmed up. Inhaling the breath, the earth energy, the life force up through your center, and showering it out and down. Welcome. If you're joining me, my name is Sama Morningstar, and we're just getting warmed up with a little breathing, connecting with the earth energy. So we're scooping down with our arms, bending the knees, feet hip distance apart, feeling your earth on the ground. We're going to make a basket with our hands and take a deep breath, scooping that earth energy up through your legs, through your hips, through your center, and showering it down around you as you exhale. And now we're just going to place our hands on our hips. Welcome if you're just joining me. Sama Morningstar here. And we're just using some simple belly dance, yoga, qigong movements with breath awareness, gentleness, and loving kindness towards the self to just loosen up that sore back, loosen up those hips. So the thing with back pain is that it usually originates way down at the base of our sacrum. Our sacrum gets bound up from sitting in chairs, driving in cars. Our hips get pulled towards the sacrum, and that pinches the nerves there and restricts blood flow. So we're just going to put our hands on this area, the back of the hips, and see if we can be as relaxed as possible in these big gluteus muscles, these big hip muscles on the side and the back. Hi Kate Warla, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So we're just starting to loosen up this sacrum, back of the hips area with a little bit of hand contact here. We're going to breathe into that area and we're going to make some circles. Hi Kate. So making circles with the hips and breathing all the way down into the base of your pelvis. See if you can feel the base of your pelvis filling with breath like a bowl or the bottom of a balloon. Breathing down towards the earth. And then exhaling, it rebounds up again like a trampoline. So as we're breathing, we're making circles with the hips and placing our hands on the backs of the hips, massaging the sacrum where the hips come together. And breathing into that belly, circling those hips. Having the hands back here has a double function. Not only are you making yourself aware of your sacrum and your hips and your low back, but you're also opening your heart. This lifts up your heart. So we can do circles with the hips, circling both ways, breathing into that pelvis, creating space. When you breathe into the pelvis and open the pelvic floor, the hips widen and open, creating space in this place where it gets pinched between the hip bones and the sacrum. So we're breathing it wide and out. And we're making these circles to massage that area. See if you can feel soft and jiggly in your buttocks. Let this area be just soft and open. A great way to soften that area up is to soften your jaw. So you can take some deep breaths and even the traditional belly dancing sound that's made is very softening for the jaw. It mobilizes the lips and the tongue. Typically, the hand is put over the mouth because it's considered unseemly for women to make this sound and be fully visible. So it's rolling, trilling the tongue. It's a wonderful massage. So, loosening the jaw. Okay, now as you can see, I've started to make some figure eights with the hips. This starts to get some movement into each side of the hips individually. So the way it works is you inhale and you bring one hip forward and back, and then this hip forward and back. So one and then the other. Making some figure eights. And feel with that movement how you're massaging your waist area and where your spine comes down between your hips. You're massaging, you're moving that hip around and then around. Continuing to breathe down there into those hips. And then we can figure eight the other way. So instead of having the hip come forward and back, we have the hip go back and then forward, and then the other hip back and forward. So now we're rolling the hip away from the sacrum. And breathing deeply, breathing life force down into those hips. Down into the low back, the sacrum, where the hips come together. And now we can make the figure eights in this vertical way. So we're going to inhale the hip down, around to the side and up. And then the other hip down, around to the side and up. So feel this gentle movement massaging the space between your hip bones, your sacrum, and your low back. All the while breathing deeply and feeling your feet firmly on the ground. And just a little bit of time to improvise with these movements. You have several different movements that you can do. You can do the figure eights horizontally, the hips going forward and back, or back and forward. You can do the circles horizontally. And you can do vertical figure eights. A little improvisation. So welcome if you're just joining me. Sama Morningstar here with some gentle, therapeutic belly dance and yoga for a brilliantly healthy low back. And the whole spine really, but we're focusing on the low back right now. So we're making hip movements to massage and soften and loosen up this area between the hip bones and the sacrum. So you can put your hands right back here to your sacrum, feel where that area might be tight, and breathe down there. When you breathe, feel the breath coming all the way down into your belly and expanding all the way back into your sacrum. Feel this whole area widening forward and back, as well as widening out to the sides, as well as lengthening down into the pelvic floor. And using these different movements to gently massage the hip bones and muscles, bringing life force into that area. As the music picks up, we can move a little quicker, staying deep and flowing with the breath. So I'd love to know if you can hear me okay, if you can hear the music okay, and how this is feeling to you. So please make some comments if you're here and you're able to comment, or pop me a few hearts to let me know how this is going for you. So you can do another way to do those circles that gets into one side of the hips or the other, opening up one side. Some people often have low back pain that's on one side more than the other side. So you can feel that for yourself and massage one side or the other by, what I'm doing is I'm standing on my left leg with my knee relatively straight but soft. I can sort of bounce on that left knee. Then I've got my right knee bent with the ball of my foot on the floor. And so now I can lift just that right hip up and do some circles there. And feel that movement massaging just that, where that area of that right hip comes together with that right side of the sacrum. And focusing my energy to that side and doing some movements. I can make horizontal circles with that right hip. Both forward and back, and then back and forward. I can make up and down movements with that right hip, faster or slower. And I can do vertical circles with that hip. So just focusing the movements in that right hip to loosen up and soften and strengthen and release any tension in that right hip. And you can release tension with a sound. And now we'll switch. So I'm standing on my right leg, knee soft and bouncy, and bending my left leg with the left ball of the left foot on the floor so that I can lift up that left hip and make those same movements. So I can lift the hip up and down. I can circle it horizontally. Both ways. And I can circle it vertically. Feeling how making these movements is gently massaging the area between the back of your hip bone and your sacrum, which is where things tend to get bound up when we have low back pain, or any back, shoulder, or neck pain tends to start at the root, being bound up here from sitting in chairs, driving in cars, and like that. So we're just breathing down into this area and loosening it up. And back to both feet on the ground and both hips moving. We've got the horizontal figure eights in both directions. So the first direction is one hip coming forward and back, and then the other hip coming forward and back. The other direction is one hip going back and then forward, and then the other hip going back and then forward. This opens up the hips and low back in two different ways. This way gives that back area a squeeze by drawing those hips back and around. And then this way draws the hip forward and around, opening up that area between the sacrum and the back of the hips. So that's your horizontal figure eights. And then we have our vertical figure eights. So bringing one hip up, out, and down. And then the other hip up, out, and down. Now I'm helping this hip to come up by lifting my heel, this same heel, off the floor and pressing up, out, and down. And I can go the other way. I can go down, out, and up. Down, down, out, and up. Down, out, and up. All the while I'm breathing down into my belly and my pelvic floor. Okay, so now we're going to shimmy. So the way that we shimmy, another word for shimmying is subliming. I love this word for shimmying. We're subliming our sacrum and hips and low back with this shimmy. So the way you do the shimmy is you have both feet planted on the floor and you bend one knee and straighten the other. And then you bend the other knee and straighten the other. So this movement happens entirely with the legs and knees, bending and straightening alternately. So your buttocks, your hips, your low back can all be soft and loose. They don't need to be activated at all. And it helps to lift your torso up off of your hips so this whole area has lots of space to shimmy and shake. So you can start slow with the shimmy, taking a deep breath, lifting. Hey Mo, welcome. So we're just getting ready. This is Sama Morningstar here. If you just joined, I'm doing a little bit of therapeutic dance, breath, yoga movement for making a strong, brilliant back, alleviating any back pain or tension you might have. So we're just getting ready to start with some shimmying. So we're standing with feet hip distance apart and bending one knee and then the other alternately, lifting the upper torso up off of the hips so that your hips have plenty of room to drop and lift. And you can slowly, if that seems easy, you can go a little faster. So we're keeping the upper chest lifted and letting the hips and low back be soft, the buttocks be soft, and you can start going faster and faster. And this is also called subliming. So this gentle shaking of the sacrum and low back is very subliming. You can start to feel the sublime Shakti energy being generated and arising through your spine. So taking some deep breaths, allowing that Shakti energy to rise up as you're subliming in the low back. Okay. All right, so I would love to hear how this is feeling for you. Please pop in with some comments. Let me know how this brilliant low back belly dancing practice is for you. Or pop me some hearts if you're enjoying it. I would love to connect with you about it. But if nobody is, if you're too busy dancing, that's good too. All right. So we'll just do a little freestyle movements with the hips. Welcome if you just joined me. My name is Sama Morningstar, and I'm just enjoying some freestyle movement in the hips now to loosen up my low back. And you can join me, feeling your feet on the ground, feeling your breath. Opening up that low back and sacrum area. And we can bring the movements all the way up the spine. We can circle with the rib cage to massage the mid and upper back. Just putting your hands on your ribs. Circling the ribs the other way. And we can circle the shoulders and make snake arms. So as you circle the right shoulder, then the elbow circles, and then the wrist circles. And the same with the left. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. And then you can do opposite shoulders. Breathing all the way down to the base of the spine and then up into the heart, connecting our root with our heart, inviting the earth energy to rise up into our hearts so that we may express our hearts through the movement of our hands, through the work of our hands, and even through the sound of our voice. So allowing the arms and shoulders to move fluidly, feeling these movements as an internal massage. You are moving your bones around inside of you, rotating them, circling them, and massaging your tissues with your bones from the inside. So gently giving yourself a fluid, flowing, internal massage. Breathing, life force. You can get the neck involved. All the way down into the fingertips, massaging your wrists and hands with the movement and the breath. All right, well, that was lovely. I'm really enjoying dancing with you today. I hope that you're enjoying it too. If you want to pop me a few hearts or a message, I think I'm going to close it on up here. And I'm sure I will be dancing with you again soon. So many blessings. And I encourage you to explore dance as therapeutic, in a therapeutic way for your body, your heart, and your soul. Again, my name is Sama Morningstar, and you can follow me here on Periscope at Samanando108. And you can also click on my, I'm offering right now complimentary low back healing sessions to discover if what I have to offer might possibly help you with any back pain that you're dealing with. So please click on the link in the description of who I am in Periscope, and you can sign up for one of those sessions. So I'd be delighted to meet you there. Many blessings, and I hope to see you again soon. You can follow me here, invite friends to follow me, and we'll all have brilliant backs. All right, take care.